Howdy, folks. I'm Eric Ali.
I'm Matt Winholtz.
Working at Eagle Claw, we're so privileged to walk through the halls where there's history everywhere.
Absolutely.
We just released a 100-year press release. It outlines a little bit of our history. It outlines the fact that we're still family-owned by the same family that started the company in 1925. We're still American-made. So many things to be proud of. But in this video series, what we want to do is we want to take you through some of our history and explain to you different things about maybe it's a product, how the company got started, where we innovated, all kinds of cool stuff. There's something important to note, though. We're going to back these historic Our Eagle Claw story posts up with new products, and there's a reason for that. While we're standing on the shoulders of 100 years of American-made fish hooks, our focus, led by the McGill family, is always to the future.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get started. As you guys know, we're anglers ourselves. Most people in the building love to fish, and an angler started this whole thing. So Andrew D. McGill rode the train from Denver up to Georgetown. He had his flies with him, a bamboo rod. He was fishing Clear Creek, and the bite was super tough. Long story short, what he noticed is after a couple drifts, his flies would lose their shape. And when the bite's super tough, if your presentation isn't lifelike, you're flat out not catching fish.
Yeah, I mean, when you're fishing small creeks like that and fish become wary, the bite can definitely turn off.
It's got to be perfect. So, he gets back to Denver and he immediately goes to work on creating a process that would make two things. It would keep the shape of the fly after fish being caught, after X amount of drifts, but it would also keep his dry flies on top of the water. Okay, so it took him a while to develop the process, but once he did, and I'm gonna, these flies were born. The Wiltless Wing flies, this is what started the Wright McGill Company. Okay, I want to point a couple things out. It happened from an angler on the water that had a problem and he found the solution for it. You're going to see this process kind of repeat itself over and over again within our 100-year history. It's solution-based and it's born on the water. It's for anglers, by anglers. It's just super, super cool. They came in loose flies and all the popular patterns of the day. And then they also came in snelled versions, which is interesting because anybody that fishes Eagle Claw, when you think snells, your heart skips a beat. You go, yes, that's how I started. And it's just, so we're going to keep these videos to bite-sized chunks, right? It's just little snippets. But this first one, the main thing is Andrew D. McGill on the banks of a river in Colorado came up with the Wiltless Wing fly idea, perfected it, brought it to market, and that's what started the Wright McGill Company that later came out to Eagle Claw.
Yeah, it's amazing what inspiration can do and innovation, especially when we talk about fishing and there's a certain S word we don't like using, but it's amazing what happened back then with hand-tied flies.
I'll use it. You don't want to get skunked. And 100 years ago, Mr. McGill didn't want to get skunked. He created something to help who knows how many people catch more fish. But that innovative process, that vision is something that we're still doing today, led by his grandson, Drew McGill.
Absolutely.
So just super, super cool. That's the first video, guys. This is our Eagle Claw story. One of the things that we want to do is highlight your Eagle Claw story. Dates back to the early 1920s. But one of the things we want to do in this video series is also highlight you. Without anglers, we can't do what we do. And while we're talking about the Eagle Claw story, without your Eagle Claw story, it's not the same.
Absolutely.
So tag us in your stories, whether it's a PB that you caught on Eagle Claw hooks, a time you had with your family where Eagle Claw was a part of it. I don't care if you caught a mess of bluegill with, snell bait hooks and bobbers. If you had a great time, we want to tell your story. So make sure you tag us in Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, use the hashtag #MyEagleClawStory. And until next time, we hope you get out there and have a blast catching fish on American-made fish hooks.